Hello everyone, welcome! This is Mercurio, a veteran dungeon master and a game designer, and also Baldurs Gate aficionado, and today we're going to make the strongest starting fighter on Baldurs Gate 3 Early Access. Now a disclaimer, if you want to make whatever race you want, just do it, The strongest fighter is always the coolest one to you and your campaign. But if you want to make the strongest starting fighter, then we can help you. So let's go ahead. First, to understand what a fighter is, we're going to the class here. Fighter have lots of hit points per level. Is a 1d10 every level. You get the average, okay, but first level you get a maximum, so 10. And then we have 13 because this fighter has +3 on ability checks on Constitution. So you add that. A fighter can wear any armor in the game, light, medium, or heavy, can use shield, and can use any weapon in the game. It is a fighter, He goes and fights. Also, we have 2 saving throws, Strength and Constitution. What are saving throws? Well, saving throws are things that you need to throw whenever you are in a pickle. So let's say you fell on a trap pit. You need to pass a dexterity saving throw. A snake bit you, and now you're going to fight against the poison. That's a constitution saving throw. Some rocks fell on you, and you're trying to not get crushed. That's strength saving throw. So you get the idea. You throw a d20, and you add to that your proficiency modifier. Your proficiency starts on 2 and changes at some levels, and your strength modifier. You may notice that this fighter, we are not going with higher strength, and that's strange, I understand. But that I'm going to tell you later. Right now, let's make the standard melee fighter. So you're going to want to have maximum strength that we want. Maximum constitution, so we can have more hit points and tank more. Then you are free. You could either go with good wisdom, so you can be stronger against mental powers. Or maybe you want to play the social game here and do all the skills. So maybe just increase your charisma and go for it. Or maybe even wearing plate, even wearing brute weapons, you want to be a little bit agile, so you start fast on initiative. You can have dexterity, that's fine. It's very versatile. Once you have your strength and constitution, you're set. What is the best race for a fighter that will be a melee fighter? Well, the best race for sure, the shield dwarf. I know some stuff overlap, like proficiency in weapons or in armors, but you get +2 to constitution and +2 to strength. That's fighter's paradise, right? You also have dark vision and dwarf resilience that gives you advantage on saving throws against poison. Whenever you have advantage, you throw 2 d20s and you choose the best result. And resistance against poison damage. That means you take half damage from poison. That is very good. Poison damage is very common, so that's very good. And yeah, the only thing I could say against it is that, well, less speed. Base breaching speed for dwarf is 7.5 meters, everyone else is 9 meters, so that sucks. But still, I think everything else is very good, so yeah, it's alright. Now, another very strong melee fighter is the high half-elf or the wood half-elf, especially. I know, we all guys are tired of wood half-elves, but yeah, they're just too strong and just so beautiful. Look at this handsome man. Yeah, look at his eyes, just mesmerizing you. I mean, you can choose to have +1 strength, +1 constitution, and then you have +2 to charisma, you have dark vision, you have fey ancestry. That gives the advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and then you're immune to sleep. And also you're faster, alright? So everyone moves 9, you move 10.5. A fighter dwarf and a fighter wood half-elf, it's like 3 meters of difference, that's a lot. If you're counting on squares on a grid, dwarf moves 5 squares, everyone else moves 6, and this fighter here would move 7, so that's amazing. And you also get stealth, proficient in stealth. Now, that's not as good because you're going to wear heavier armors and then you're going to have disadvantage on it. Well, I like to gain stuff, If you give me free stuff, I'm happy. That's how it is. So yeah, that's probably the best fighter with the dwarfs. That specific dwarf. But I really like high health. You're not faster, you don't get dexterity when you throw, but you get everything else. And you could choose a cantrip, and there is a very strong cantrip for fighters, Blade Ward. So you use an action to cast, and you get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from weapon attacks. That's bludgeon, piercing, and slashing are like all the damage that normal weapons will do to you. Even magical weapons will do bludgeon, piercing damage 99% of the cases. Unless you're like, I don't know, you're being attacked by a fire sword that gives fire damage, you know? But yeah, that's amazing. It lasts 2 turns. You can use when you're in pickle in the combat, or you can use when you don't reach your, or you can't reach your opponents, when you know you're going to be focused, or even before entering combat. Yeah. So I'd say this option here is very strong. There are other nice options here. Friend is okay, although you don't have a lot of intelligence, so you might fail to cast friends on your targets, but friend is alright. Light is alright. Mage Hand is alright. Minor Illusion is alright. And maybe the second best is True Strike. It's the same as the Blade Ward. You can cast before going combat, or inside combat last 2 turns, but it's for attack. You get advantage on your next attack rolls. But that lasts 2 turns here, so that's actually pretty good. On the board game, on D&D, just 1 turn. Actually, I think just 1 attack, if I'm not wrong. The next attack. But the strike is pretty buffed here. Alright, so we talked about the high elf, the wood elf, the dwarf, and the human. The human is actually a very good fighter. Just get +1 to everything, and you can be very versatile. You can go high strength, high constitution, as you want to max it, and you can choose to have high charisma, high wisdom, have a little bit more of stats to play with. So maybe you start with one negative only. I don't know. Pretty nice. Whenever we get variety humans though, I think that will dominate it. Because human right now, they get +1 to all stats, and that's it. Variety human, there's a variant there is on D&D Players Handbook. You only choose +1 to 2 stats, but you also get a feat at first level. That's amazing. Feats, as you know, can change how you play the game. If you want, if you are interested in that, leave a comment and I can make a feat guide for Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access. That would be nice if you want to. Alright, so now we know the best melee fighter, right? What do we choose? Well, fighter. Only choose 1 stuff on the first level, no, 1 ability only. Fighting style. You also gain an action called Second Wind. That's a bonus action that you regain 1d10 +1 hit point. That's not +1 really, that's +1 per fighter level. So at level 4, your fighter level 4 will regain 1d10 +4. That's a nice little ability. Nothing too, well yeah, we're not going to throw a parry over it, but nice to have it. And every short rest you can count on it. So yeah, nice to have. Let's talk about the fighting styles now. Archery. That's the strongest style in the game, +2 bonus to ranged weapon attacks. To put in perspective, the maximum bonus one character can start to either ranged or melee attacks is +5. How? Everyone starts on level 1 with +2 from proficiency. That's the proficiency bonus from level 1. It will increase at some levels and will finish at +6 on level 20. Actually, I think 2 levels early. I think in level 18th, if I'm not mistaken, you get +6 already. But well, you understood. But you progress very slowly, starting with +2. Then you add to that your modifier to attack. Every melee weapon in the game, you can choose to add your strength modifier to attack. So with 16 strength, that's a +3. So that's +3 on top of +2 on proficiency. So you have a +5 to attack. That's everyone in the game. Even if you are attacking with spells, alright? That's the same thing. Proficiency bonus and then the ability score relevant to it. So wizards will use intelligence, warlocks and sorcerers will use charisma, clerics will use wisdom, and so on. But with this fighting style here, you add +2 on top of that. That makes us go to +7. That's almost 50% better than the rest. So that's fucking amazing. Strongest fighting style in the game, no doubt about it. But almost useless to melee fighters, right? So you're going to ignore this for now. Defense. Defense gives you +1 to armor class, and I think that's the second best fighting style in the game. Have that plus armor class is always useful, even if you're making a DPS. Having +1 to armor class is great. Can't stress it enough. Just think about it. That's 5% less chance to be hit, you know, on a D20. Yeah, you want to stack it. And as a fighter, you can have the best armor, so you could have a plate armor, that's 18th armor class, and then +1 on top of it, it's a 19th armor class. And that's not wearing a shield. If you're wearing a shield, that's a 21th armor class. And you don't have anything magical, just you. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Let's go to the next one, dueling. When you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no weapon on the other hand, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon, increasing your chance to do heavy damage. I like how they had to rule this sentence in the end, right? Well, I would say this sucks. Why does that suck? If you only have one weapon in your hand, then what do you have on the other hand? Can't have another weapon? That's not a two-handed weapon? So do you have a shield on the other hand? So you're defending yourself. So if you have a shield, why not stack defense and go for defense, right? Why do you want to do 2+ damage? I can understand if you have both and you're like doing an armored fighter with like 1 melee weapon and a shield. Yeah, that's nice. But if not from that, I don't see why picking that. I don't see why. And also, if you want to deal heavy DPS, that's not the way to go, because then that makes that you need to wear a one-handed weapon. The best one-handed weapon in the game for damage, not magical, regular one-handed weapon, like a longsword. So you do 1d8 damage. So that will be, you are going to add +2 to that 1d8 damage. The average on that will be 7.5, okay? Now, think about if you're using a greatsword. If you're using a greatsword, the average on a greatsword is 7, that's 2d6 damage. And then you can also add great weapon fighting style onto it. When you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for attack for two-handed weapon, two-handed melee weapon, the die is rerolled once. So that increases our average also. I think that increases our average by about 1.5. And no, it's less increasing than dueling, but in average your damage will be better. Will be 7.5 here against 8.5 here, something like that. If you're using a greatsword or a maul, a weapon that deals 2d6 damage. But I didn't factor critical hits on the math here. Whenever you're critical, that's a natural 20 on the D20, unless you have some feature that makes you deal critical with 19 for anything else. Then you actually double the dice of your damage, so a critical for a longsword will be 2d8 damage plus your modifiers. And a critical for a great weapon fighting will be 4d6 damage plus your modifiers. So yeah, if you're going damage, go with two-handed weapon fighting. Go with great weapon fighting. Go with either a great sword or a maul. Now, protection. It's a toggle passive feature, so you need on your turn to decide to turn that on or not. And then if the condition is met, you spend your reaction and do whatever is here. So, when you have a shield, it imposes advantage on an enemy who attacks one of your allies when you are within 1.5 meters. That means when you're on its side. That's the square literally next to it. You must be able to see the enemy. As a reaction, toggle reaction to your turn, it will automatically execute when needed. I hate reactions on Baldur's Gate, because say you have a friend that's being attacked by a goblin, and you have it toggled. Now you gave disadvantage to the goblin. Nice, the goblin missed. Oh, but hey, look! The giant comes after the goblin. And now the giant is smashing your friend. And you can't use this again because you only have one reaction per turn. So I hate it. Never get it on Baldur's Gate. That's my recommendation. Let's hope Larian changes how reactions are made and lets us choose. I know that we will involve the flux of combat to be paused all the times, but well, if you played Solasta, they did that, and that's pretty amazing there. Two weapon fighting style. When you make an offhand attack, you add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack. Well, that's because if you are using two weapons, They have to be light weapons, so one or each hand. You attack with your action, you do your normal damage with your main hand, and then you attack with a bonus action with your offhand. But you don't add your modifier, so you wouldn't add +3 to the damage. That makes so you add it. So if you want to go to weapon fighting style, go for it. That's very good. I don't think it's worth for fighters. I think that's only good for rogues, so you don't miss your sneak attack. In case you miss your first attack, you have a chance. Well, if you want to, go for it, but that's not as much as DPS as great weapon fighting, and that's not as good as defense. Alright? So yeah. So as a fighter, I think ideally, if you want to do DPS, melee, use a two-handed melee weapon, a maul or a great sword, and grab defense, because even that these increase your damage, defense increase your survivability better, so you're going to be able to be there, but you're going to be able to do your damage with more ease. Now, if you're really sure about yourself and you want to do the heaviest possible damage, okay, so you grab great weapon fighting. I mean, it rerolls on a weapon, and also rerolls on some weapons, magical weapons. Like a flame tongue, who had a flame tongue great sword, it would reroll the 1s and 2s. I don't know about the, I didn't test it here, about the flame sword you can get on the Nautiloid, but I will test, and I will make an amend for that, don't worry. And now, we talked about the styles, but our fighter is not going to be a melee one, our fighter is going to be a ranged one. Because this is fucking great and we want to make a ranger character. To make a ranger fighter, we actually want to dump strength, maximum dexterity, maximum constitution. Now, I won't dump strength per se, because I like to carry stuff around in Baldur's Gate. So I think that would be great, as we see here. Maybe I would actually dump my charisma, increase my wisdom. That's very good stats-wise. I think that's amazing. Or maybe if I want to be more intelligent, I will do that. I don't know. You understand the gist of it, right? And what is the best race now? Well, it's not Warfare anymore. We want a race that gets us dexterity and constitution. We have several races that do that. Halfling, Strongheart could do that, but we are slower. And I think for a ranged fighter, an archer, to be faster is nice. So if I'm saying that, that means half elf would be the best choice, right? I think so. Yes, I think that's the best choice for a ranged fighter, for an archer. But I'd say that high elf is pretty nice also for a spell, and so gorgeous here. Look at that. And the human is also nice, because with human you can get like array of abilities more balanced around. So yeah. But yeah, if you're going for the best one, guys, that's the best one here for the ranged one. No, not this one. This one is the best one. Plus dexterity, plus constitution. And you get everything that you half elf gets, right? And yeah, pretty amazing. And then you get your fighter. And well, oh my god, mental fart. Get your fighter, choose the archery side. Don't forget to choose it, right? Because if you play around and might forget to choose when you create it, and then you might only know so when you finish the Nautiloid. That's what happened to me on a test game when I did earlier, so that sucked. And yeah, I'm going to be playing with a human archer, just because that's a throwback. That's like my wish for when they put variety humans, so I can have my feet on first level. And I'll be playing. And also I want to make a very bearded creature, you know. I know a half elf, maybe we could make some bearded guy here. But I just don't think that the very bearded ones are nice on wood half elves, like this one. I don't know, you know, look at his eyes. I don't know, I don't want his spears. So I'm going with when I play. And if you want to see me playing as an archer, subscribe to the channel, and because we're going to release this video very soon. So I'm going to do the human with very long beard, just because that's how I feel to play right now. And that's how you do, guys. In the end, play what you like, you know what is the strongest possible choices, but then you can be wise to choose to make it or not, and do whatever you want. So thanks for watching, see ya.